Yeah, what, from this week, is it?
Yeah, I'll go with that. This week, yeah, we had.
Yeah, from this week.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, well, from yesterday.
We'll go with that.
Dear me. As you can see, I've actually started recording. I thought it'd be nice to just break into the recording, because we can chat and just let it flow.
Hey, everybody.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
You sneaky bastard.
I'm a sneaky motherfucking Russian. There you go, everyone goes quiet now, look. No one wants to talk.
That must be like a European racist joke or something, I don't know.
What's that?
Sneaky Russian.
No, that's from Snatch. Boris the sneaky fucking Russian.
I've seen that movie once, and it was like a long, long time ago.
Oh, such a good movie. I tell you what's a good movie, World War Z. I watched that this week. I was actually pleasantly surprised.
Really? You think that was really good?
Well, I didn't think it was really good. I thought it was good. I really do like their zombies, you know, because every zombie film has different types of zombies. You've got shuffling zombies, you've got running zombies, you've got, you know, well, they're all maniac zombies, I guess. But I do like, it kind of felt as if there was ever a zombie apocalypse, that's what they'd be like, you know, smashing their head through windows trying to get the flesh. I thought that was really quite cool. And, I mean, the story had a few potholes, and it was, I don't know, it kind of petered off towards the end. But some of the pieces in the middle, especially the bit on the plane, was incredible.
I watched Pacific Rim this weekend, or this week.
Oh, well, it's any good?
That movie's fucking awesome. I was a naysayer because I didn't care about robots and shit like that, but you sat down in that movie and it was all about just being fun. You know, it was ridiculous, and they totally, you know, Del Toro totally took, you know, Gundam and Evangelion and implied it in there, and it was actually just pure awesome. Anybody who grew up watching Toonami would love this movie.
I missed it at the cinema here, so I think I'm going to have to wait for the Blu-ray release, but I did want to see it. It was one of those movies, but there was so much on over the summer. It still is, and it's just crazy. You don't get enough time to go.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a ZTGD News Burst. It is the 6th of September. The launch window is slowly creeping up on us.
It's already here, dude.
Month by month. Oh, I'm talking about the big ones. But it's, I mean, you think about it, you guys have only got 2 months to go. 2 and a bit months before you'll be picking up your PlayStation 3s. And also your Xboxes, because that got released this week. Well, they got announced the release this week, which is our top story, I guess. Microsoft, no fanfare at all. It was just like a press release, which was really, really weird.
Yeah, no video.
You'd think they'd be shouting about it, but they came out and said that the Xbox One is coming to 13 territories on the 22nd of November, which is a week behind the US release of PlayStation 4, but a week ahead of the European release. So it's kind of slap bang in the middle. Is anyone surprised by that?
I mean, no. I mean, you can't really guess those. I mean, it would have been a surprise if they're like, oh, yeah, October 10th or some shit like that. But, I mean...
Yeah. They already said November, didn't they? So.
Yeah, they have been sticking with November since they announced the stinking thing. And, you know, I mean, good for them. You know, I'm sure they're going to be very successful at it. I mean, I'm just... You know, I've been thinking about it recently. It's going to suck just having one console. You know, I mean, it really is, because, you know, I know Ken, and I've played a good amount of games with him, and he's talking about getting all these third-party games, and I'm like, yeah, I will never play those with you, ever, because you're going to get them on Xbox One. And most of my friends that I play with will play on Xbox One.
So why aren't you going for that as your first console?
Because there are multiple reasons.
Killzone.
Killzone's one of them, and... Okay, let's admit, I am a little bit of a fucking fanboy. I don't care.
Really? You never would have guessed.
I mean, I do like Sony products. I think they make pretty decent products, and I like the fact that they... I don't want to fall into the hype of them yes, we're totally for the gamer, and we're totally gonna, appeal to you guys, and we're not gonna fuck you over like Microsoft is. And I don't want to get into that, but it does feel like they're kind of more connected with their audience a little bit. A lot of those indie titles, like the downloadable things that they're going to come out with look kind of cool. And the big thing for me is it's $100 cheaper, and I'm not made of money anymore.
That's quite funny because I'm sure I could see a quarter up your nose.
Yeah.
Well, it's $100 more if you buy the camera with the game.
I don't need it.
Okay, I'm just saying.
There will never be a camera connected to either of my systems. Of course, it may be if I ever get an Xbox One because it forces you to.
No, it doesn't anymore.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
Anymore.
Oh, you don't even have to have it connected anymore?
Nope.
No.
Wow, I was still under the impression that you had to do that.
No, it's
but you still have to buy this system with Connect, though.
Yeah,
you
can't
have it connected.
Yeah, you have to buy it, but you don't have to connect it.
My God, they just changed every fucking thing.
Which is why I was, I wasn't going to be shocked if they announced an October release date, because they did a 180 on everything. And I said it last week, and I said it on the podcast on Sunday last week. I wouldn't be shocked if they did change it to October. So this was a little bit of a shocker for me to come out after PS4.
But not in the U. To be fair, it's kind of a good date for them, solely because European is, although we sell a lot of Xboxes, a hell of a lot of Xboxes, Europe has always been kind of known as the main PlayStation territory outside of Japan. And in the States, not so much. Obviously, Xbox is king. So by moving after the PS4, they're not losing too much in the States, but by going earlier than the PlayStation 4 in Europe, they may gain some. The FIFA thing, of course, will definitely help, although they have announced that it doesn't come with every Xbox. It's only the day one editions. So that was another little backtrack they did this week. So FIFA 14 comes with day one editions only, not bundled in. So if you buy it in 3 months' time, it's not going to have it with it. But I think this was a good move for them. Very clever date. If they'd have went too early, you could have run the risk of games not being ready. You went too late, and Sony gets a hell of a lot of steam in front of them, or behind them. But yeah, I mean, it's so well. It's also worldwide, which Sony isn't doing. We've got to wait 2 weeks for it here. It's worldwide, but they are, of course, only launching in 13 territories against. Is it like 40 that the PS4 is launching in? It's quite a few more. So yeah, I know how you feel, Drew, in regards to not being able to play with my friends. I'm hoping that a lot of my friends but to be fair, I don't play that many games online. I haven't. My Xbox Live subscription has lapsed, and the main game that I play online is Call of Duty, and I play a lot of them with my work friends, and they've all got PlayStation 3s. They're all going to be getting PlayStation 4s, so I'm not, I'm not going to miss out too much there. But it's not so much the third-party stuff that I'm going to kind of worry about. It's the exclusives now. Although there's nothing at the launch that kind of interests me, but other than Forza, they will have great exclusives out. Next year, Titanfall. Titanfall's getting a lot of attention at the moment. At Gamescom, everyone was raving about it, how well it played, how much fun it was. And although I'm sure it will come to PlayStation 4 at some point, the fervor may have sort of died down by that time.
Who's publishing that game, Titanfall?
EA.
Oh, EA is publishing it. All right, now who's doing Destiny then?
Activision.
Activision, okay. I was so confused on both of those because
it kind of is a bit, really, isn't it?
Yeah. It feels like the opposite should be happening for some reason.
Well, it's really strange because EA was always a bedfellow of Sony, all throughout pretty much the PS3 days, because Activision was so tied in with Microsoft, with the early DLC stuff for COD and whatnot. Battlefield 3 had earlier DLC on the PS3, so it was the opposites, and now EA have jumped into bed with Microsoft as well. So I am actually looking forward to Destiny. So although there won't be a shortage of anything for me to play, and I will eventually get an Xbox One, but I can't see me getting one in the first year. I can't afford it. It's just way too expensive nowadays.
Yeah, there's no way I could afford that. I have a house payment now.
Yeah, that's it. And I think even though the consoles are cheaper than they were when the last iteration released, especially the PS4, I mean, I spent £500 on the PS3. I look back and I think, what the fuck was I doing? I must have been mad. But still, we are in a time of austerity. People haven't got so much disposable income, and I think the games industry will see the effects of that when it comes to new consoles. But so people will tie their flag to one system, and but I completely agree with Justin. Just because you're tying your flag to one system, don't slag off the other one. Competition is healthy, so
yeah.
So I take it you are quite happy about the news, then, Justin. Other than the fact you was hoping it'd be October.
Oh yeah, I'm just finally glad we got a date. The first thing I did was check my my status on Amazon, because I ordered through Amazon, and see if they changed delivery date to the 22nd, and they had it on still as the 27th. I'm like, wait, this isn't fucking right. Because they changed my PS4 order to the launch day. It'll be here on launch day. Because it's a launch system, so you get it on launch day. And I wrote them like, hey, I pre-ordered this Xbox Day 1 edition. Why am I not getting it motherfucking Day 1? And they wrote some bullshit, and they finally changed it to the 22nd. So.
You only got to give them a bit of time, mate. You're way too impatient.
No, and that could be right, but I just wanted to make sure, because I need to start putting these days off. I need to take off the 22nd now, and I need to know if it's going to be on the 22nd or the 27th. Because if it's going to be on the 27th, I take off that Wednesday or whatever.
That's right. I've got the week off the PlayStation 4 launcher, so I know what I'm going to be doing.
Killzone, yeah.
Killzone, yes. That'll be one of the games I get.
And that's why it kills me that I can't get my PS4 anymore, not until next year, because it's back to back, and I can't spend that much money. I thought I could, but it
was a little easier last time because there was such a large space between the 360 launch and the PS3 launch. But
I'm not talking then. I'm not talking about that.
No, I'm just saying that was easier because there was a large gap in between, so people could buy a console and then save up if they wanted to, and it wouldn't be such a hard hit. But you're absolutely right. A week apart is going to be tough. And as I say, that's probably going to draw some lines in the first year of the console launches. So.
Yeah, whatever. I'll get my PS4 sometime.
Absolutely.
I won't get it.
I've just checked the running order, and I would imagine that Justin has been a complete dick and has changed all the titles to boobies.
What did I do?
Boobies. Wow, a lot of boobies.
I have not touched these notes.
Actually, let me just
check.
Why
is it my fault?
Anonymous.
Because it does say that's you that's done it.
No, it says anonymous capybara.
Yeah, see, that's not me.
Yeah. So, which one are you? Are you the panda?
I don't know who I am. I didn't do anything. I haven't touched the notes. Every time there's boobies on a page, it's Justin's fault.
Well, normally it's boobies on the page you're looking at, so.
True that.
So the next story is about boobies.
Yes, it is.
Rayman Legends. Apparently, I don't know because it's not been released yet, but the Vita version is missing some shit. So some gamers not too happy about that. Apparently,
28 levels.
28 levels. Apparently, it was the invasion mode that was missing. So this might be why it's delayed in the UK. I know it, as I think I spoke to you last week about it as well, Justin, or the week before, but we got told it was going to get delayed over here, but you said, oh, it's already out in the States, so maybe that's why it got delayed. That's what Ubisoft have said, essentially, is that we didn't have enough time. They have promised that the 28 levels will be patched in on a free patch later this year, along with an additional 70-odd levels, totaling 100 levels all in all.
I have a question.
And that'll be a free patch.
I have a question. If they didn't have enough time and left out levels, why release the game?
It seems really strange because obviously it was meant to be out back in was it March, April time anyway, on the Wii U when it was an exclusive, and then they delayed it because it was multi-platform. I don't know. I just guess that they just didn't have enough time. They wanted to get. You think about it, if you leave it too long, it's going to go up against some really heavy hitters, and sort of late August, early September would have been a good date for it. They wanted to hit that date, or maybe they'd just got behind on their work and already penciled the date in. So
yeah, but this is pretty significant. 28 levels, man. What the fuck?
Well, there are a lot of levels on that game, but yeah, it is unfair. It is unfair, absolutely.
It's fucking stupid. Whatever. Oh, it's a free patch. Yeah. Well, fucking release a finished version of the game. How about that? Motherfuckers.
Oh, damn.
I just don't get the logic. I don't get the logic.
You are feisty this evening. It is inherent nowadays, though, with the ability to patch stuff in. You do find that a lot. I mean, the amount of day one patches that we see, you know, back in the old days, you wouldn't have seen that. A game came out, and if it was broke, it was broke. But now it's a case of they can get it out the door and then sort of wing it with patches along the way. What can you do? You know, in a way, it'll be cool for those people who have got the Vita. If the patch isn't too long, it'll give them another chance to go back to the game. And 100 levels in total that they're adding to it is a nice little sort of kind of compensation, I guess, especially if you do like that game.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you're just in and then nothing's ever good enough.
No, I'm sorry. A finished game is good enough. Okay. Fucking 20 levels from a game missing. That's inexcusable, asshole. What?
So, next up, boobies.
Yeah, more boobies. That's the way this show's going.
So the Xbox 360 apparently has got 3 more years left in it.
Yeah.
Do we think that's right?
Yeah, I would believe that. I mean, if you know, I'm sure the last year will be mainly sports games.
FIFA and COD.
Yeah, and Call of Duty. Yeah, this upcoming year still got plenty of stuff. I mean, you got Dark Souls 2, you got Castlevania, you've got a whole bunch of games that's coming out, you know, first quarter of next year, exclusively for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. So I think support for both systems are going to be on well into probably 2015.
Well, the install base
2016 will be sports games. So if you enjoy sports games and you haven't took the dive yet, then yeah, sure, go ahead.
Well, they have said that they're at least going to be at least 100 games released on the Xbox 360 after the launch of the Xbox One, which is good for those because, you know, as I say, large install base. You've got a lot of people you're going to still have to take into consideration. Not everyone's going to be jumping on the next gen bandwagon straight away. It may take a couple of years, but it does kind of show that when they initially started out this generation, they were both Sony and Microsoft looking at a 10-year cycle. It's going to get close to that. And if you think about it, if you are, I mean, it's unlikely, but if you are running on your original systems, that's not a bad value for money.
That's true. So 3 more years. How long would that be for Xbox?
It would have been about 11 years, wouldn't it?
Oh, God, that's insane. I've never seen a console last that long.
Well, what did the PS2? How long that lasted? Pretty long. I thought it was around 11 years.
PS2 came out in 2001.
Yeah.
And it lasted till...
They decommissioned it, I believe, last year. So that was 11 years, but come on.
I know, they stopped making games long before that. But
yeah.
Still. Yeah, alright.
So again, it just represents good value for money. And I mean, if you look at both the PS3 and the Xbox 360, you know, the catalogue of games now after that long a time is, you know, I haven't played probably 20% of Xbox 360 games. I mean, if I wanted to hang on to my 360, there's plenty to keep me going. And yeah, it's good. Hopefully we can see the same with the next one. It did kind of, I mean, this year's been a bit of a stretch. I think people have been clambering for another console. This generation has kind of wore itself a little bit thin, so those that do want to jump on it then on the next generation, then that's brilliant for them. But bearing in mind that there are probably people who are quite young and maybe have only had their Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3 for a couple of years, you know, the fact that it's going to be supported. I mean, Titanfall, as was mentioned earlier on the Xbox One, that's also coming out on the 360.
Yeah.
So you're still going to get heavy hitter games. At
that
least, as you say, for probably a year or so.
Is that cross-platform then? Can you play?
It's cross-platform in the fact that it's coming out for 360, Xbox One, and PC, but it's not cross-play.
Can't play. Okay, cross-play as well. Okay.
No, they're different servers, so.
I'm sure they said that there's one of those cross-buy ones, though, where if you bought the 360 version and you wanted to get the Xbox One version, you pay like $10 or something like that.
I thought that was only for this year.
That is only going to be for this year.
Oh, is that only for this year? Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's only going to be the ones. It's only going to be for games that have been released before the consoles have come out. So, Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, FIFA, COD,
Madden, Marvel.
Madden. Yeah, all of that sort of stuff is going to be covered under that kind of £10, 10 quid guarantee thing. Game in the UK, the retailer have also confirmed that at least with Call of Duty, they'll be, if you trade in your current gen version, they will only and swap it for the new gen version. It's only going to charge you 10 quid. So that's not bad if you do, and apparently you're going to be able to save your or carry your saves over from the old generation to the new generation in one way or another. So yeah, if you can't wait the few weeks for Call of Duty on the new systems, at least you don't have to fork out too much if you do want to get on the next ones.
Gotcha.
So more hello. Oh, come on, who's been you fucking around with it? You're moving shit.
What?
There's the quick burst section has gone off. I can't leave you. I'm not going to let you edit it anymore.
I still got quick bursts.
Mine's vanished.
I didn't do anything with them.
Oh, there it is. They've just packed. Fucking assholes, a pair of you.
Wow, asshole superior. That's good, John.
The pair of you.
I haven't done it.
Okay.
I swear to God.
Oh, piss off, because I can tell who's editing them because of the colour of the bloody icons. You've both been pissing about with it.
I swear to God.
Damn it, Drew. We invite you on our show, and you fucking mess with the notes.
Motherfuckers, I'm telling you right now, I have not touched this fucking thing. What the fuck? Can anybody edit this if they find it? Who is in this? Anonymous orangutan.
It's you two.
Yeah,
it's not me.
It's you two in here. I can see two icons. Yeah. I send it to you so you can edit it.
All right, watch this. I'm going to type into it.
Yeah.
You're typing GHSY.
And what's the icon?
The green one. You're the panda.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't have a green panda on my screen.
You're not going to have a green panda. You have me and John on your screen, while John has... Never mind.
Why is it fucking animals anyway?
I don't know. It's fucking Google. I don't know, man. Their next operating system is KitKat. Who the fuck knows what they're thinking?
Alright, it's not me. I'm telling you that.
Anyway.
No, I added boobies. Jesus Christ.
I haven't moved anything. I swear to God. Jackass, you're fucking blaming it on me. Jesus, this is the last time I'm coming back on.
Piss off. You'll be back on here. Okay, so I'll leave the quick bursts to you, Justin. I'm sure you'll...
Drew, you're a special guest. Why don't you do it, man?
Oh, yeah, Drew, why don't you do the quick bursts?
I can do the quick bursts. First is up. Final Fantasy 16? No. 14. I can't read the Roman numerals. Final Fantasy 14 server woes continue. Sony offers buyers a refund.
Yes. So apparently, a week almost 2 weeks after the launch of the Realm Reborn, people are still having issues to the point where they can't actually get to play the game, and so Sony have come up and said they'll offer refunds to those that have bought it on their system. I presume that's a downloaded version. That's fucking. I mean, I say it's a fucking joke, but you know what? Diablo had the same thing. SimCity had it. It's. I don't know. I don't ever think I want to buy a multiplayer game, massive MMO, because I don't think they'll work.
They'll work eventually.
I mean, Guild Wars 2 had a pretty smooth launch, and I play a good amount of it, and it's real fun. People's got to get in their minds that this is a work in progress kind of deal.
Well, it isn't. I mean, this has been going on for years. I mean, originally Final Fantasy XIV launched, and that was a big fucking steaming turd of a game that would not work. They they basically had to give it away for free. He couldn't charge anyone subscription fees, had to dump it, fired the staff, got these other guys on to do the reborn version, and it still doesn't work.
Wow.
I mean, it's hard to comment because these MMO games all have issues, but
servers are always a funky bunch to deal with anyway. I mean, you can set them up and anticipate so many people, but then more people get on than expected, and servers crash. It happens with these type of games, so
I'm sure WoW still does it.
Right. So, I mean,
and it's probably quite pricey to rent servers as well, so you don't want to overshoot it and end up costing yourself a fortune. It's a difficult thing to juggle, but they've had the beta going for, what, 2-3 months to iron some of this stuff out. They tried to stagger the launch by removing the digital versions off the Square Enix store and still not helping. I mean, I don't know what the current status is. I don't know whether or not more people are having success now logging in and playing the game, but it just kind of...
It sucks, yeah.
See, it's a nail in the coffin of MMOs. Unless you're
I don't even think they're in a coffin,
you're going to have issues.
I think they're still going pretty strong.
No, not really. Not really. If you look at Star Wars, the old, Knights Republic, whatever that is, that's now gone free to play. That didn't really succeed.
Well,
I mean, you look at what happened to heads of BioWare.
I mean, it all depends on the model itself. Now, I'd say that pay-to-play games like World of Warcraft and the upcoming failure, Elder Scrolls Online.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, those are dead. I mean, don't get me wrong. World of Warcraft still goes on because so many people play it, and they
were the first.
Once you put 150 something hours into a game, you kind of want to just keep playing it because holy shit, I've put so much time into this.
Right.
But with Elder Scrolls Online, I can guarantee you that game is going to be free to play in probably 6 months.
Oh yeah, no, the free to play model is definitely dying or not dead already, but the MMOs certainly aren't dead.
No. Guild Wars 2 is still going on strong. They release new content constantly, and they just recently had a big event that happened, and I played it. And it gets you back into the game. I really enjoy Guild Wars 2. It's one of the more actiony MMOs, and it's really accessible, and I really did enjoy it. And and every once in a while I'll just boot it up to see what else is new in there. So I don't. It's just the MMO itself is going to have to evolve, and I don't know what Elder Scrolls is thinking. Those guys are nuts if they think that they're going to have
that. On top of that too, because Elder Scrolls Online, that's hitting consoles too, right? Or that's only on.
Is it?
Is it?
No,
I thought it was. Because I thought there was a big hoopla about if Elder Scrolls is pay to play, well, gold members on Xbox Live still have to pay for it. And then
let's find out.
And then they said that yes, you in fact do have to pay for your gold subscription and play the game online.
Well, let me just ask this then: if with the recent, or with what we've seen with games like Diablo and Final Fantasy XIV, with the issues that they have starting off, it's something like Titanfall, which is essentially an MMO. It's an always online, persistent game.
Right.
Do we feel that may suffer the similar sort of problems on launch, or do you think that Microsoft is so invested they are just going to throw money at that thing so that it works out of the gate, regardless of the cost? Server issues and things like that, because it is going to be an always online game.
Well, I mean, it's hard to determine that. I'm sure there's going to be some problems. These games don't really go over smoothly. I mean, Guild Wars is the exception. That's the only exception I've heard of. I could be wrong. I don't keep track of it, but
I mean, don't get me wrong. They had problems at the beginning too, but I mean, it wasn't like people with pitchforks, kill you motherfuckers, maybe spend $50, yeah,
So, I mean, I'm sure they're going to encounter some problems. I mean, but, everyone should expect that there's going to be some sort of problem by, this time with these kind of games. If you don't expect a problem, then you're naive.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Also, Elder Scrolls, according to their Wikipedia page, is coming to the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 later on.
Okay, and I think that's what I think if I remember reading correctly, Xbox does have to pay also, even though you're paying for gold.
Correct.
Service.
Yeah,
well, we'll be buying that anyway.
You had to do that with Final Fantasy on the Xbox.
Yeah, that's like $15.
I didn't even remember that game. Okay,
yep.
So. I mean, in those cases, I know it's a completely different news story, but in those cases, I really don't think you should have to pay for that. You're already paying Well, I mean, that's going to be like that for the PS4 now, too, isn't it?
Yes.
Only on certain games.
Okay,
What?
well.
Wait. You telling certain games will allow you to play online for free?
Yep.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Like what?
Apparently, if I remember rightly, Sony games are going to require the gold membership, PS Plus, PS Plus membership to play online. However, it is down to the third party as to whether or not they need to activate it.
Oh,
It's entirely up to them.
AKA, everybody is going to have to pay to play online.
Yeah.
But again, it's a completely different situation because it's not just paying to play online. You're paying. That's just a side effect. The reason why I pay for it is for the free shit and the good free shit that you get every month. The fact is that I was going to get. I will continue with my PlayStation Plus subscription while they continue to offer me great content. So to me, it doesn't really matter that online is included in that, and I need it because I was going to have it anyway. I think this is a great thing because by doing this and forcing people to get it if they want to play online, it's actually going to open them up to all of that content, and they're actually going to be grateful for it. Again, this week saw the fantastic games that Xbox Live are giving you away this month, and you see, I mean, what, Rainbow Six 2006. So Rainbow Six, what was it?
Vegas.
Yes. For fuck's sake!
And Magic the Gathering 2013.
You know,
which
we
2014 is already out.
We went through this on Sunday. I don't want to get into this again.
No, but okay.
It's a joke, but.
So let's move on. We'll move on to the next story then, Dre. Go on.
Alrighty, next story is Xbox at one time turned down Heavy Rain before it was offered to Sony. Come to find out.
I bet they're kicking themselves for that. Sold pretty well.
Did it sell really
I thought it sold pretty
well.
well.
3 million copies have done okay. Apparently it was due to the fact that they were unsure how the public would react to the kidnapping, child kidnapping themes in that game, and it kind of made me think about how different Sony and Microsoft are as companies and what they're willing to take risks on, because you look at Sony and they are slightly more edgy when it comes to that sort of stuff, and it doesn't surprise me that Microsoft passed on it. But it also doesn't surprise me that Sony picked it up. So
I'm so sick of people afraid to do something because of backlash.
But you look at the two different types of companies. Microsoft is very family orientated, and it kind of probably makes decisions based upon how they see their customers as a whole, ranging from the ages of 7 or 8 upwards. Whereas Sony, I think, as you said earlier, kind of are more concerned about what they think their customers will enjoy, as opposed to that they were quite happy for their customers to make that decision. I mean, obviously that game was rated as an adult content, and so hopefully wouldn't have been sold to somebody who wouldn't be able to handle the subject matter. But
if you can't handle the subject matter, don't buy the fucking game.
Exactly. But I think it just kind of highlights a difference between those two companies, although they're both game console manufacturers and game publishers, but they do have slightly different sensibilities and slightly different opinions of their customers and their install base.
It's been happening a lot lately. Just people jumping on bandwagons, dude. I'm just so...
people have been jumping on bandwagons for like 2 billion years.
But it's...
Since they're bandwagons?
Exactly.
It's to a point now where it's like the internet has become this place where I have been offended by something, and I'm going to have to rally everybody I possibly can to fucking go with my cause. And it's just, if you don't like something, I'm sorry, don't do it anymore. Don't listen to it. Stay away from it. And of course, everybody looks at me like, well, you're a dickhead for saying that. They shouldn't have to say that shit. I'm sorry, but people can say whatever the fuck they want to. If you don't like it, fucking leave.
Right. And that's why I left the internet, because I can't fucking stand the people on there anymore.
Bam! Thank you, Justin. If you don't like it, get off the internet. I'm like, well, I can get on there and if I want to. They should shut the fuck up. Well, you know what? They're not going to shut the fuck up. So I guess everybody needs to shut the fuck up, and they're not going to shut the fuck up.
Right.
So
And that's because of the internet. Everyone has a voice.
Get the sunglasses and fucking deal with it.
Get the sunglasses.
I mean, you know, you've seen that meme.
No, I haven't actually.
Sunglasses slide down to somebody's eyes, and it says, "Deal with it."
Oh no.
You need to be on the internet more, Justin.
I actually think he doesn't. Also, just on the side, your T-shirt's cool, Justin.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
It just looks groovy. I
Football,
don't know who the Panthers are, but they look groovy.
Football
Well, I guessed,
Sunday.
but
You
I mean, you
the
must be a
pillow?
Panthers fan because yes, I've just seen that. Yes,
They're a.
but the shirt is rather affecting.
Wait, what? You put that in quotes, Joe? Are you hot?
A football club. We don't call them clubs.
Okay.
We call them teams over here.
Anyway, move on.
All right. Xbox One will support 8 controllers at a time, while PS4 will only support 4 of them.
Man.
If I have 8 people over, it'd be a fucking miracle. And if that's happening, we're probably just going to get drunk. We're not really going to play Xbox One.
The only reason why they will want to support 8 controllers is that they can charge you 7 times $65 for the controllers. You do realise that the PlayStation 3 supports 7 controllers. Have you ever used that?
I've only used 2 controllers, and that was rarely.
Why would you want 8 controllers? Are you going to do split screen 8 ways?
That would suck ass.
That would suck ass, especially if you've got a 29-inch
You would have
TV.
like a little 6-inch slither on your fucking television.
Well, I do have, my friend, a 6-inch slither.
Oh my!
He's like, stop fucking screen watching, damn it! I can't help it. It's all there. You know. So.
I don't really care how many controllers it supports as long as it can support 2. I'm happy.
It's a bullet point for them to put on the box to say, see, Sony, you fucking suck. We got 4 more controllers. What are you gonna do about it?
Hey, they need to stand out somehow because these 2 systems are essentially the same anymore. So
pretty much, they're the same, except one of them has Rise. Man,
that looks awesome, doesn't it?
I can't wait to play that fucking generic game.
Motherfucker. Don't need your fanboy shit on this show,
Fanboy!
I love it when you two are on together. That's why I have to sit in the middle of you two, because you just are.
Let's see here. Xbox One will not support external hard drives at launch. I didn't know they were going to support them to begin with.
Apparently they were.
Like jump drives? Or are they talking about jump drives or like actual like portable?
External hard drives, yeah. External hard drives. They're going to have to, because 500 gig is not going to last you 6-7 years.
No, not at all.
But again, apparently, I think the PS4 is going to go down the same route as the 3, where you can swap them out. But the only issue that I would have with that is they haven't said how big you can make it, because
I was going to say, I thought they did announce that, though.
Well, how big that the Tera drive you can put in there.
Yeah, I thought they announced it. I could be wrong, and if they did, I don't remember what it was. I could have sworn someone announced that there was a limit, and it hadn't been Sony.
Is it 500 for the PS4?
I thought it was 500.
500 is the install. 500 is a PS3
Oh, that's the install? Oh.
That's what you get. They have said that you will be able to expand it via external and internal, I'd imagine. Because what I want to do is, that comes out, I just want to get myself like a 3-4 terabyte drive and just whack that in there and be done with it, because with PlayStation Plus, I keep having to clean mine out because I've got game after game. I've got a 500 gigabyte drive in there at the moment, and it's not enough. So, and you know, Xbox One and a PS4 game are going to probably be anywhere from 5 to 20 gigabytes in size. That's easily going to eat into that after a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely need some kind of external hard drive, because I've already made a conscious decision. I am going to go all digital.
Are you?
And yeah, I've already made up my mind about that, and that is going to eat up big time.
Even if the game is the same price as disc?
Oh, I'll go all digital if it's the same price. It's only if it's going to be more that I won't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, it should be more. Why the hell would it be more?
Exactly, but
surely to God, if they really want people to jump on this whole fucking digital download bandwagon, then they need to give us an incentive to do that.
Right.
You know, and even if it's $5 cheaper, that'd be nice. But,
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
I would
I've made up
settle
my
for the
mind.
same price.
Yeah, you just
I'd
basically
settle
knock
for the
off
same
tax.
price.
You know, if you want to knock off tax, screw it. That's fine.
Yeah.
No,
They won't knock off tax though.
no.
No.
So I don't know. I mean,
I mean, this might be the testing ground for this digital stuff. If it takes off, I'm sure they'll do something about the price point.
yeah.
We'll see.
Hopefully, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Okay, up next, and the final quick burst story. The Mighty Number 9 gets funded. The Kenji Inafune side-scrolling platformer, formerly known as Mega Man.
Mega Man.
The
Yeah,
artist
I'll
formerly
leave
known
this
as
for
Mega
you
Man.
two because, as I mentioned on the show on the weekend, I've never played a Mega Man game. I have
You
no
need to
idea what
remedy
this
that
is about.
Big time.
Sorry?
I can't believe you. You need to remedy that big time.
They're
Mega
good
Man's
games,
awesome.
but man, they're hard as fuck.
Exactly.
They are
They're
so
old school hard. Well,
Yeah,
Mega
I
Man
don't do
10
old school hard very well.
Mega Man 10 and Mega Man 9, I believe, both came with easy mode, which made it.
They're the ones on the PlayStation Network, aren't they?
Yeah, they're downloadable. Which those are great. Of course, you know, 1, 2, and 3 are the top of them, but it just goes to show.
Aren't they on the what the hell is that stupid Nintendo store called? Nintendo
eShop.
Store? eShop.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure they're on the eShop.
They are,
I know
they are all
1, 2,
on
and
there up to, I think, about up to 5, because when we were talking about it on the podcast, I kind of had a little look on the eShop, and they're on there, but I haven't got around to even downloading them yet, so.
Okay. I was gonna say you have a Wii.
So
Or
this-
not, you have a 3DS now, so you might want to try them out there.
Yeah, that's it. So this Mighty, again, I really don't know a massive amount about this Mighty 9. So it's essentially the spiritual successor to Mega Man.
From what I can gather, it looks exactly like Mega Man.
So
I mean,
why the
art
fuck
style-
is this on Kickstarter?
Because Kenji Inafune doesn't work for Capcom anymore.
And why is that?
Capcom fired him.
For making games that don't sell?
Well, either they fired him or he left on his own volition. I'm not too sure. But he was going to make...
Oh, hang on. Wasn't he the guy who came out after he left and said Capcom need to be more original, creative?
Yeah.
And he's making a Mega Man game.
Well, he's making a game he wants to play.
He's making a game that he can't call Mega Man, that is Mega Man, yet he bitches about Capcom not being original.
Well, here's my deal. And listen to me, you smarmy jackass. Okay. He was going to make Mega Man Legends 3 for the 3DS. It was already set in stone, everything like that. And then Capcom decided we didn't want to fund this shit because we don't think it'll sell because Mega Man, you know, I guess they fucking tested, you know, the grounds and said nobody wants to play a Mega Man game anymore. So they canceled it. He also had another game. I can't remember the name of it. It was a Mega Man game that was going to be downloadable, and it you could play as like Mega Man Ryu, so he would shoot Hadoukens and stuff like that. I can't remember the name. I think it was Mega Man Universe or something like that.
I think that rings a bell. I've seen that name about you.
And then they canceled that one. So I think he may have just left and quit. And he's collaborated with a few companies. I know he helped collaborate with the Hyperdimension Neptunia guys. I believe Gus made those games. I'm not too sure, or it might have been Compile Heart. And Mark II was actually really good compared to the first fucking games. That game was an ass. But he has helped out with other games since then. But he finally said he wanted to make his own game. And sure enough, what he thought was correct. People want to play a fucking Mega Man game. It's just Capcom didn't want to make it. So he said, well, fuck y'all guys. I'm going to make my own game. And essentially it's the same thing. You got robots, and you got different stages you can pick. You got a boss at the end of it, and he hasn't went into detail, but I'm pretty sure that boss's power is going to be absorbed into what was his name? Beck. That's Beck and Call. Beck.
Yeah.
And probably he'll get that power, and then another guy will be weak to it and stuff like that. So it looks like the Mega Man formula.
But you obviously can't make a Mega Man game because Capcom hold the rights.
Exactly. So he's just going to make the next best thing.
Well, for those that wanted that, they're going to be happy because it's been funded.
Yeah, majorly. It's already went past its special goal. I don't know what they call those on Kickstarter because I don't give a shit.
Yeah, they have sort of level tiers, don't they?
Yeah, tiers. It passed its first tier, so he's going to add 2 extra levels into it, and it's still going. It's still like it's still climbing with donations and stuff like that.
Yeah, because he's still got about 2 weeks left, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's still got like almost 3, I think. I'm not too sure.
About.
So you never know. He said that he could add more, and he's hoping to. It's just going to be a PC release, but he said if he gets enough capital for it, he will make it on Xbox One or Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 as well.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So good on him, and I will totally play it when it comes out, Mr.
Have you put any money to it?
I do not put money into Kickstarters. I do not believe in it. It is against my religion.
It's again okay.
Yeah.
Kickstarter atheist.
I am the master of my own universe.
Okay.
So.
Just like He-Man. So finally, although this, even though this technically has nothing to do with games, I just thought we'd put this in here. Microsoft has bought Nokia, or essentially their devices and services part of the business. Now, obviously, Nokia make phones, and they have been since year dot. I think they probably one of the first companies to make a mobile phone. Although that isn't where they get all of their capital from. However, more recently they've been making Windows phones for Microsoft, and the Lumia range has proven quite successful to the point where Microsoft thought it'd be a good idea for them to buy their services and devices divisions. Now that means that essentially Microsoft will be the masters of their own universe when it comes to phones, much like Apple. They will have taken on all of the employees in Finland, 32,000 of them. There's a lot, yeah. No redundancies either, which is fantastic. And the head guy at Nokia, Stephen Elop, is now the head guy of devices at Microsoft. So he's going to be replacing the soon-to-depart Steve Ballmer. So that's your replacement. I think it's a clever move. They're going to get rid of the Nokia brand, and they're going to. I would put money on it being branded a Lumia phone, just like the Xbox. I don't think Microsoft will put their name anywhere near the fucking thing. So I think that's a very clever move. Interestingly, cost them less than it did Skype.
I don't know about that. I think they'll still keep the Nokia name. I mean, it's.
No, they won't. They're not keeping the Nokia name.
They announced that?
Yeah, that's not being kept.
Okay.
Yep.
That's interesting. Okay. Well, whatever. It's a good move. I thought it was good. Now there's Google has essentially Samsung. I know they still have Motorola and.
Yeah, that Samsung is. I mean, they're the king of Google phones essentially. I mean, Sony's creeping up, and HTC have lost their way.
Right.
Samsung is still top of the hill, king of the hill.
I mean, Motorola still is doing pretty good. They got their their Joy phones, but
not over here. Over there, obviously, they do a lot better in the States. I can see at some point in the future where Samsung and Sony and HTC won't be able to make Google phones because it'll be Google will make their own phones.
Well, they do make their own phones.
No, but I mean solely, like Apple do.
No, I understand what you're saying. It's just that I would have thought they would have hit that by now, but they just sell a shit ton of those from Samsung. So,
yeah.
But it's good to see that there's there you go.
What you got there? Is that S2?
That is the original Galaxy S.
Oh wow, our Galaxy S look different to that.
This is called the Captivate, the Samsung Captivate.
Our Samsung Galaxy S's look different in the UK.
It's old. It's like 3 years old now by now.
Yeah, it works.
Exactly.
And if you're going to talk about devices, what about that fucking smartwatch that Samsung beat Apple to?
Yeah, that looks quite cool. I still wouldn't have an Android, but that looks quite cool.
Right, and it's not. It doesn't do a whole bunch. It acts as a companion to your Android device.
No, actually, it acts as a companion to your Note 3 because at the moment that's the only device that's going to work with it, which is ridiculous.
No, the only thing I read is it doesn't work with the S4.
No, it only works with the Note 3.
I didn't read that.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's a companion, whatever.
confused. I don't even know any of this stuff.
Samsung. I'm sorry. Was it? Yeah, Samsung had a conference this past Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever.
Yeah.
And they showed off a smartwatch, and it acts as a companion. You can make calls. You can,
Yeah, you can talk into it like Knight Rider.
Oh, dude, you can
not
do the Power Rangers.
Okay, I was thinking Dick Tracy because it looks exactly like the Dick Tracy fucking walkie-talkie watch. It looks dead on that. So, whatever.
There'll be some mods for that.
Yeah.
What's that?
I'll say there'll be some mods for that.
Yeah. Well, look it up. I mean, it's an interesting piece. It's only $300. So,
Only.
I mean, with that kind of technology, it's you expected more. I was expecting upwards of 800, to be honest with you. So I was quite
It's a fucking watch.
It's a companion.
It better be a fucking Rolex.
Rolexes are way more expensive than that. So whatever. From someone who's expecting that it to be upwards of close to $1,000, $300 is still surprising to me. That's where it's surprising.
Don't worry, the iWatch will come out at some point, so you can have one with your phone, Justin.
I ain't fucking that stupid. Are you kidding? If Apple releases one of those, it's going to be $2,000.
You're probably right.
Jesus, there's no way I can pay for that. That's insane. That's insane. I don't understand why people would want that.
I don't know.
Madness.
It's just to show you about where technology is going.
Nope.
And Drew.
Speaking of going.
Thanks for coming, Drew.
Bye.
But no, it's just to show that where technology's going. So.
It's.
I mean, look at Google Glass.
Yeah, it's scary. Very, very scary. I somehow don't think Google Glass will ever make it into the public domain.
No, you never know. It's an interesting concept. I wouldn't get caught.
It's fantastic.
I wouldn't be caught dead wearing one because you look stupid as shit.
I think it's a very, very clever thing, but I cannot see them getting past regulations because you're recording and people don't know you're recording, and that's against the law.
You have to tell it to record, don't you? It doesn't record all the things. You have to say record or Google Glass.
Yeah, but you could record something, go for a walk, and video several people without their permission, and that's against the law.
And that's true.
That's where I think the problem will lie.
Yeah,
Other than that, incredibly cool tech.
But I mean, people are walking around with it now, though.
They are, but it's test circumstances apparently.
It doesn't matter. It's. I don't know if there's a law against beta testing. It does the same thing. So I mean, how can people walk around with it now?
I don't know. It just seems. I can understand people would be paranoid if they were to.
I would be.
Paranoid anyway.
You never know who's might be wearing them.
Exactly. Well, you'll know who's wearing them. You just don't know if it's recording or not. I don't think it has that. I don't think it has a red light blinking telling you it's recording. Yeah. I mean, it could. I don't know. So, fuck it.
And that's everything. I mean, apart from boobies, I think boobies is the last thing on our menu. So,
yes, indeed.
Boobies.
Start with and end with it.
That's all you can do, isn't it?
Stick things in between them. What? What happened?
What did you say?
Nothing. Nothing.
What did you say?
Nothing. I didn't say anything, John.
You dirty fucking Italian. Dear me. So, any tidbits of news that you guys have picked up this week that you want to talk about? Anything interesting?
Controversy.
No.
That's all it is. I don't even want to talk about it.
Controversy.
I don't know what.
The old penny arcade thing.
What penny arcade thing? What happened now?
God damn it.
You mentioned it.
You shouldn't have brought it up, man.
I figured you guys knew about it.
No.
In 2010.
Do I look like I do anything about the news?
In 2010, Penny Arcade released a comic that had a joke about rape in it.
Oh, okay.
People got pissed off, and they started to make merchandise about the comic. And then people got even more pissed off, and they decided to remove the content, like all the merchandise and stuff that had that going on. And so they had the PAX this last week,
PAX
and they were doing some type of an interview in front of a live audience, and they asked, I don't even know the guy's name. Is Tycho?
Tycho.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't know which one that is.
No, it's not Tycho. It's Gabriel. Is the other one. The guy who's Gabriel, I don't know what his real name, Mike something, I think. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
He mentioned that the whole debacle was called the Dick Wolves, was what it was called. And he mentioned that his biggest regret was removing the Dick Wolves merchandise from the store that they had. And now people are back up in arms again about it. And then he apologized again, and everybody's like, that's not good enough. And, it's just new. It's like blogs post about, this is why I'm not going to PAX anymore. I'm like, well, okay, don't go to PAX.
But it's a dodgy time at the moment. You have to be careful about what you say.
It's been a dodgy time for the past 2 years.
No, well, I'm specifically now. There has been several cases where these sort of things have gained a lot of media attention, especially on places like Twitter, where there are rape threats and death threats. They've been taken quite seriously. Over in the UK, police were involved and charges were made. It's getting quite serious stuff. I sometimes think that though some people forget that they are listened to by a lot of people, and as such they have a responsibility to act accordingly, act with some kind of decorum in their form of media. So in this case, an comic arcade strip.
You know what
they do.
Not to cut you off. In last month's Wire, they had an article addressing this exact subject, and it's really well written. You should probably check it out. Whoever's listening, watching you guys, it's really well written, and it addresses this very subject and how it just, you're not saying it to just a group of friends anymore. You're saying it to the fucking world.
Yeah.
So, and you cannot erase what you say.
No, there's a digital trace of everything. I mean, all right, you can delete the tweet, but someone can screenshot it before you do.
Oh, absolutely. And they will.
So, no, without a doubt. But, I mean, if we make a comment, I mean, fucking hell, I've got, 700 followers. I've got fuck all followers, to be fair, compared to someone like Tycho or Gabriel. I mean, they've got tens and thousands, hundreds of thousands of people following, and those comic strips are very funny, and sometimes, most of the time, they're pretty funny, but you can't just go around making those kind of remarks or putting that kind of content out, saying whatever you want, and not think you'll get repercussions, and then to make merchandise based upon it is a bit devious.
Well, I mean, he did it just as in retaliation. It's like, fuck you guys, I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want to, and I'm going to put it on a t-shirt.
But you can't say whatever the fuck you want to nowadays. That's the thing.
Well, I mean,
although 2010 was a bit different.
You're going to have repercussions for it, but you can, and that's what I'm trying to get to. Is that it seems like it depends on how popular you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, you have 700 followers. I have like 1,000. And I'm sure if I said something like that, people would get fucking pissed off, and I'm not condoning that at all.
Well, you know what? It's not just that. They'll retweet what you said, and then those people will retweet. Even if you have one follower and you say fucking something that's just ridiculous and stupid, that'll probably get retweeted by whoever's following you, and then and other people will retweet it. It's a never-ending snowball.
Yeah.
And you can have one follower, and you can affect thousands of people.
Or you can have David Jaffe attack you on Twitter.
Or that too.
If you're lucky, yeah.
I was lucky.
If you're going to be vocal on the internet, and I wish everyone would feel the same way, but they don't. They believe the internet is their goddamn right to spout off whatever shit they want. But if you're going to make a statement, make a comment, I think that a little bit of thought should go into it. I'm sure I've sent tweets that I thought, oh, fucking hell, what to send that for? I'm an idiot. But a little bit of thought, a little bit of common sense, because, as you said earlier, Drew, yes, there are people who are probably going to get offended at anything that you say, and why should you tread on eggshells just for the sake of those few people? If they don't like they can fuck off the internet, which is true. You know, there's some people will blow up at the smallest thing, but there are some subjects you want to stay well away from. Things like rape is one of them. Murder, you know, illness, all that sort of stuff. You want to shy away from. You just want to be a little bit careful because someone will take offence, and in that case, rightly so. I mean, it's fine for someone to take offence if just because you've said something that isn't offensive, but they think it is. But as I say, if you're going to say something that is inflammatory, then you're hiding to yourself because you're just going to get lashings and lashings of hate.
Yeah.
And I know that those guys over at Penny Arcade do like to live on the edge a little bit. They do like to stir things up. But as I say, subjects like that, I don't, you know, I just don't. I don't know. Anyway,
I sent out the link to that story. You guys need to read it because it's exactly what we were just talking about.
What I'll do is I'll send that link over to Ken. I'll get him to put that on the story page for it. So if any of you guys watching do want to read that,
well, I'm sure it's copyrighted. I don't think you could do that. You have to get permission from Wired, I would think.
No,
we're giving them fucking publicity.
Yeah, it's only to put a link on for a story. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. No, I don't think there's anything. It's not as if we're copying the story and putting it on our site. We're putting the link to their story. Is fine.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I don't want to get anyone in trouble.
I don't think you can for that. If you were to copy and paste it onto a story that we wrote, that's libel.
Works by Drew Leachman.
Yeah. However, to send the link to the Wired site, I think you're fine with, because they can't get the story anywhere else, and it is crediting the original writer because it's going to Wired, so you're fine.
Okay. All right. Well, there's a link. It's a good story. You should read it.
Okay. Well, I'll say we'll give that a read and we'll stick that up on the page that this goes up on the site. So if anyone does want to have a little look, they're welcome to do so. Okay. So let's get the fuck out of here. Thank you, Drew, for coming on.
Yes.
Not a problem.
You.
It's always a pleasure, even if you do fuck up my running orders. And of course, thank you, Justin, for being my partner in crime as always. If you do want to follow us on Twitter, where we do make inflammatory comments and annoy people.
Offend people on a daily basis.
Absolutely. It's offending guaranteed. You can follow Drew at DML Fury. You can follow Justin at Killer Wolverine, and you can follow me at John W. UK. Of course, you can listen to our podcast that goes out every Monday, the N4G radio show, where we will talk shit once again for a couple of hours, although under the watchful eye of ZT. If you do want to leave comments on here, please do so. We will eventually get around to reading them if you do bother leaving us any comments. If you don't, then don't. Hope you enjoy it. But in the meantime, that's bye for now, and we'll see you next week.